Good morning, good morning, good morning. Y'all may be seated. Welcome, everyone. My name is Courtney DeMeo-Puno, and I serve as Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost here at Heidelberg. I have the honor of welcoming all of you to Convocation this morning, and for our new students, welcoming you officially to the Heidelberg community. Welcome, everyone. This is my 16th Convocation, and it is an incredibly special event in the academic year. Each year, we officially open our academic calendar with this event. It marks the start of a year full of exciting opportunities for each and every one of us, for all of our students who are assembled here, for our faculty who are in the front, for our staff who are lining the wall over here and sitting up in the bleachers. Convocation marks the start and the opening of incredible opportunities for all of us to live, to work, and to grow together over the course of the academic year. These opportunities that we get to explore are curricular, co-curricular, extracurricular. They happen in the classroom, they happen on the field, they happen on the performing stage, and so it is an incredibly joyful experience to be able to officially start the academic year together. For our new students, right, all of you sitting in front here, the next few weeks are incredibly important for all of you. This is a time when you are getting acclimated to Heidelberg, learning how we do things, the ways in which you belong here, and building the relationships that will create all of those incredible opportunities for you over your time with our institution. This period is when you will learn what we in higher ed often call the hidden curriculum. It's the language, the rituals, and the activities that punctuate college life. Much of it you will learn in your AIM High Advising Seminar this year, but some of it starts today. And so in order to make sure that our hidden curriculum is clear to every person in the audience, I want to explain what this particular event consists of, what we are going to do here today. First, we will rise for the singing of the national anthem and lift every voice and sing. Emma Raber, class of 2026, will sing the national anthem, and Jer Marshall, also class of 2026, will sing Lift Every Voice and Sing. Following those two songs, we will hear the invocation, followed by a welcome from President Huntington, from your Student Senate President, and from our distinguished convocation speaker. Finally, we will close today by hearing about some of Heidelberg's treasured traditions and the singing of our alma mater. After the singing of our alma mater, everyone will stand as they are able, and we will process out of the gym. And there is a particular order to the procession, right? The platform party, that's the folks up here on the stage with me, will process first, followed by our faculty who are in front here, and after that, our new students. Once our new students process out of the gym, then the remainder of the audience is welcome to stand up and leave. So, for all of the students in the audience, after we sing the alma mater, you will remain standing and wait for the platform party and the faculty to process. The folks who led you into the gym today, our faculty marshals, will give you the signal when it is time for you to exit the room. Make sense? Everybody good? Excellent. So with that, I'd like to welcome, our folks to the stage, and please rise as you are able for the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight
every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has brought us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Ainsley Munger, and I'm the president of the Catholic Newman Club on campus. Being that Heidelberg is a private institution based around the United Church of Christ faith, many of our significant occasions begin with an opening prayer. With that being said, I've been given the honor of leading us all in this tradition. Please feel free to join in and pray as you are willing. Dear Lord and Father, we thank you for everyone gathered here today, especially our new students. Bless them as they enter this new chapter of life, filled with learning, growth, new experiences, and relationships. As students come facing feelings of worry because of the unknown, we ask that you provide them comfort through your unconditional love. Additionally, please grant them strength and perseverance as they navigate the experiences they will encounter here at Heidelberg. We also ask you to bless the returning students, our faculty, and all of the staff who serve this community. May we all live with a unique purpose that contributes to the greater good. We ask this in your glorious name. Amen.
Please be seated. I want to begin by thanking Dr. Chris Abrams, our Dean of Student Affairs and head men's golf coach, for leading all the freshmen to T-Bridge, for H-pinning and beanies. Boy, all of you look wonderful, all right? Well, this half has more beanies on right now, all right? But thank you for doing that, Chris. I want to thank you, Dr. Ben Herrick, for the wonderful music by the marching band as everybody processed in the prelude. That reminds me of another reason why I like this moment of the school year is to hear the music again. And we're going to hear more of it a little bit later from Dr. Ramsdell and the choir as well. I want to thank Courtney for her welcome. I want to thank Emma for her singing. I want to thank Jer for the singing of Lift Every Voice and Sing. And I want to thank Ainsley for that prayer, for that invocation. Good morning to the incoming class of 2019 and to all of our undergraduate transfer returning students as well as our graduate students. My name is Rob Huntington, and I hope that everyone had a very, very fun summer filled with discovery and productivity. Welcome to our 176th year of educating young women and men in the integrated professional-ready liberal arts curricular, co-curricular, and extracurricular programming that we have developed over the last 175 years. Since that moment in 1850, we have remained steadfast opportunity makers on a student-focused mission defined by our classroom and experiential learning success, graduation, careers, and lives of purpose with distinction for all of you. That is why we exist, and that's why the school is here, to create those opportunities. Why? Because we believe in people. We believe in all of you and each one of you. That's why we embrace this notion of serving you as opportunity makers. So I want to thank all 1,130 undergraduate and graduate, full-time and part-time, and CCP high school students for choosing Heidelberg University this year. It is great, in addition to that, to see so many upper-class students who've joined Convocation here voluntarily. I appreciate that. I want to thank our faculty, staff, alumni, and partners who worked very hard to prepare your academic courses, teams, ensembles, activities, internships, health services, residence halls, food service, and campus grounds for the start of this fall semester. Amazing job by everyone. Many of them are in the room right here. How about a round of thanks for all the people that have prepared this for you? Our keynote speaker is Heidelberg alum Mr. Scott Carpenter, class of 2017, whose successful TV news reporting career has progressed from sports reporting to news anchor across several states. I think he's currently in Alabama, and it seems to be always to a bigger, stronger station as well, which is wonderful. He'll be introduced formally in a moment. It is great to have you back, Mr. Siggy Awards. I just ask one thing. Stay off the tables. Okay. Stay off the tables. If there's a table in here, don't jump, all right? You thought I'd forgotten that.
I did.
Yeah, okay. No way. No way. All right. We are welcoming 331 first year, 28 transfer, and 8 returning undergraduates to our school this fall. All 367 new students. As we stand right now, that's a plus 12% increase in new enrollment over a year ago. All of you, talented, interesting people, and motivated. So let me share some facts about all of you, this freshman class. One new student is from each of these 8 states: Georgia, Louisiana, Maryland, Wisconsin, Hawaii, North Carolina, Nevada, and New York. 1% identify as non-binary. 9% are in our honors program. 10% are Heidelberg legacy families. 13% come from Tiffin and the surrounding Seneca County. 17 U.S. states are represented. 18% had a 4.0 or higher GPA in high school, and your class average coming in is 3.5, which is very, very impressive. 18% are underrepresented students. 23% are from outside Ohio. 26% participated in Scholars Day. 40% identify as females. 43% of you are first-generation attendees from your respective families. That is fantastic. You will change the family tree from this day forward as you go through college. 59% identify as males. 61% are starting with CCP, advanced placement, or transfer credit hours. 79% of you are NCAA Division III student athletes. That is the highest percentage in my time at Heidelberg, and significantly a higher percentage than the average across all Division III in the country. And 100% of you, all of you, are new students here who've come to engage, to socialize, to succeed, graduate, and advance your careers while here at the Berg and then going forward. Your top 4 first choice majors after one day of classes, so anything and everything does change, are business, education, exercise science, and health science. Engagement, hard work, kindness, and dreams matter to college success. Work, kindness, and dreams, but be engaged. Knowing how active, service-oriented, and successful our incoming first years were in high school is absolutely uplifting. It seems that everyone, it seems like all of you, played multiple sports and/or worked one or multiple jobs across your high school time, and/or played in the band, and/or acted in theater, and/or participated in 4-H or some other club or association such as that, and/or got involved in a variety of things, clubs and off campus, off the high school campus, and/or volunteered across your communities in public service. Some of you probably did all of those things, and wow, that is impressive. That is really impressive. And one of you was the Bratwurst Festival Queen first runner-up. And I think that is so cool because I love grilled bratwurst outdoors. So whoever that person is, that is really cool. That is really cool. Right? Yeah, right there. Yeah. Aren't friends great? Right? All truly wonderful, all truly wonderful. But sometimes life takes a turn. Life does take a turn. We trip on something, get knocked down, or we simply fall short of our goals and fail. It happens to all of us. Challenges, difficulties, and setbacks. What happens next is what matters most. Reset, refocus, and respond. Ask for help. Get back up. Help someone else get back up, right? In our caring community, please know that you are never, never alone. So welcome to your Heidelberg family. For my 17th straight year in Open Convocation, I am delighted to recommend 2 books for reading. Let me just point something out. These are real books, okay? So, yep. For the first time, I'm recommending 2 books of short stories. They are connected by the life and country of a main character in one of the books to the actual life and country of the other author. The first book, Table for Two, written by Amor Towles, published last year. Towles lives with his family in New York City, and he writes about people, events, and places across time. He became a best-selling author with Rules of Civility in 2011, A Gentleman in Moscow in 2016, and The Lincoln Highway in 2021. I have mentioned his novels previously. That second book became a movie on Hulu and Amazon Prime. In this collection of 6 short stories and one long short story, Towles shares his craft for brilliant composition, which I might add, he has an undergraduate degree from Yale and he got a master's in English from Stanford. He shares this craft of brilliant composition with sharp dialogue, compelling characters, and surprising connections that dangle the reader even across books. A secondary character with a visible scar named Evelyn Ross leaves New York City on a train bound for Los Angeles in 1938 in the Rules of Civility book that was published in 2011. And the Eve in Hollywood long short story in this book begins with, quote, "In the dining car, he was seated again with the pretty young lady with the scar." So I say, all aboard on Towles. Get on the train. The second book, The Greatest Short Stories of Leo Tolstoy, written by, big surprise, Leo Tolstoy, right? Who lived between 1828 and 1910. I had forgotten that he actually lived in the 20th century a full decade. This collection of stories were written by Tolstoy between 1870 and 1903. It was published in this translation in 2019. Tolstoy is generally regarded as one of the world's greatest writers ever in any language. Now, he's best known for 2 pretty decent, fairly long novels that were written in the 1860s and 1870s, that both of which became movies about a century later. And both of those books are famous for their opening lines. In this volume of 23 short stories, Tolstoy writes mainly about peasants, soldiers, God, and the challenges of living the good life, a good life, in the spirit of that famous opening line from Anna Karenina. Quote, "Happy families are all alike. Every unhappy family is unhappy in its own way," end quote. Admittedly, most of these stories are not exactly page-turners, all right? But they are extremely well written in translation and reflect Tolstoy's incredible skill at messaging the power of faith. How much land does a man need? A Prisoner from the Caucasus, the story of Ivan the Fool, and 2 Old Men are altogether outstanding stories. So I say, try a Tolstoy. Just try one, yeah? To all new and returning students, Please be intentional, committed, and accountable about your Heidelberg education. Spend time building relationships, getting involved on campus, and preparing for your lives after college. Use AI appropriately and ethically, but please use your RI, your real intelligence, more. And show grace and care for each other. Show grace and care for each other. It is our privilege as opportunity makers to give you doorways to enter and to support your success walking through. So let us all move ourselves forward together. Good luck to everyone, and especially to the class of 2029. Thank you. So now it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Ethan Riemann, class of 26 from Arcanum, Ohio. Ethan is a business did I mispronounce it? It's Arcanum. Yeah. Okay. If I mispronounce it, just correct me right now. I want to get it right. Okay. All right. Business administration major. But more significantly in this moment, I think for each and all of you, he is your student senate president. And therefore, he's the student representative to the Board of Trustees, which means I'll be in several meetings with Ethan this year, and I look forward to that. Ethan's a member of the track and field team as a thrower. He's also a member of Berg Events Council. His Greek Association group is Nu Sigma Alpha, and he's also a member of the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, which is an NCAA-sanctioned group nationally. He works a lot in the admissions office in the same building where I do most of my work, so I welcome Ethan to the stage.
Good morning, y'all. Y'all look like you had some 8 a.m.s, maybe some morning lifts. I mean, that guy's sleeping back there. Nah. Yeah, nah. Yeah. All right, now that I have y'all awake, it's my pleasure to introduce a man whose newscaster career has taken him to Georgia, Iowa, and also Alabama, where he works for WVTM in Birmingham, Alabama, as their morning newscaster. He has covered tornadoes, hurricanes, and blizzards, and also has investigated business and government practices. He's also the creative mind behind the Heidelberg Sports Award show, The Siggies. So, it is my pleasure to introduce class of 2017, Scott Carpenter.
Thank you, Ethan, and thank you for the warm welcome. It is great to be back at my alma mater, Heidelberg University. You know, when I got the call to come speak to you guys today, I was equal parts surprised and thrilled for this opportunity. And the first thing I did when I was given this chance to speak to all of you is think to myself, who was the convocation speaker when I was a freshman 12 years ago in 2013? And then I realized my roommate and I skipped convocation to go grab a bite to eat at the Asian Grill buffet, which leads me to my first piece of advice for all of you. It is a fantastic restaurant when you're craving an off-campus meal, but beware of the all-you-can-eat sushi. Too much of that and you might really regret not coming to convocation, if you catch my drift. Well, now that President Rob Huntington and the distinguished faculty and staff at Heidelberg University might be starting to regret inviting me here today, given that that's my first piece of advice, I'd like to extend a sincere thank you for this opportunity. It is not one that I take lightly. I'm honored to be here, and I hope I'll give all of you something to remember today besides dining advice and tiffin. 12 years ago, I walked on this campus as an excited and energized kid ready for my college experience. Now, I don't know what all of you are feeling sitting out there right now. You may be overjoyed by the freedom of being away from home, sad missing your buddies back home, nervous for what lies ahead. Whatever it is, whatever you're feeling, embrace it and don't shy away from it. How you feel is your reality, and it's better to embrace it instead of running away from it, because that is how true growth starts. And we'll talk more about this in just a second. Over the next 4 years, I am so jealous of you guys and what you have ahead of you, but over the next 4 years, you will learn so much, and not just in your field of study. You know, one of the first things I learned when I got to campus was underwear does not magically pop in your drawer, clean and ready to go. See, at home, I had this magic basket where dirty clothes became clean and ready for me to wear again. So if you did your own laundry at home, hey, you're a step ahead of where I was. But I will warn you, stay on top of your laundry when you start it in the dorms. People are not shy to throw your damp, wet clothes off to the side, bringing your laundry day to a crashing halt. And for the freshmen who may not believe me, just look back and see the upperclassmen nodding in agreement. We all went through that. What I'm really alluding to is time management. In your first weeks, you will learn how to navigate your new daily routine, and then it will become second nature to you. I just have a few pieces of advice to add to that routine. Many of you are athletes, and that's great, but don't let that stop you from joining a club, a group, finding something you have a true passion for. And take advantage of the Sour Wine Gym right here. Working out, especially after a stressful day of class or before a big test, is the best stress relief you can ask for. Grab a workout buddy and tear it up. Your body will thank you for years and years to come. Now, for those of you who know what you want to do after college, and those of you who are still trying to figure that out, I'd like to tell you my story real quick. When I came to Heidelberg 12 years ago, I could not walk any taller. I was a member of the golf team, and that was a point of pride for me. I was ready for the college experience I had heard so much about. I had a simple plan, just one plan, no backup plan. Play great golf and see where that takes me. One of my first days on campus, though, the Media Communication Center, as it was called when I was here, right on the hill by Craig Hall, had its doors open. I also love broadcasting, so I popped in to see what that was all about. I immediately fell in love with the place and signed up to do some radio shows and TV newscasts. Broadcasting was always plan B at this point in my life. But I was stoked to be hosting my first radio show just days into my college career. Back on the golf course, plan A. It was time for tryouts freshman year to see who was going to the first events of the season. I developed what golfers call the yips. I was too nervous to hit a good shot. Shaky hands, missing 3-foot putts. My score was embarrassing, and I did not qualify for our first events of the year. And unfortunately, that continued throughout my college golf career. But as nervous as I was golfing, there was a calm that came over me when I got in front of a microphone or a TV camera. That started to feel more and more like home. The golf course really started to feel like a bad fever dream. Come the winter sophomore year, I was still golfing, and I not only worked at the MCC doing radio and TV, but I also worked for the local radio station that was connected to the MCC. WTTF. Still the best call signs I will ever work for, WTTF. But one of my jobs there was writing television ads. And one day I came up with a script for National Machinery, which is right next to Brown and France Hall to this day. They were looking to hire people to work for them, and I wrote the script. They loved it. They bought a lot of commercials. And at the time, I was told it was one of the largest accounts in the station's history. My boss, who was also my mentor, was thrilled and informed me there would be a little extra in my paycheck this time around. There was a lot extra, especially to a college kid. Forget the dining hall that night. We had upgraded to Chipotle or the Asian Grill buffet minus the all-you-can-eat sushi because we have learned from that already. But with that paycheck and growing role at the school and TV stations, as well as WTTF, I knew what had to be done. The freezing cold golf season was ahead in the spring, and it wasn't for me. And now these shoulders that couldn't be any higher when I got onto campus were more slumped over when I went into my coach's office to tell him I was done golfing. I had already accepted it. There was nothing more that golf could do for me, but I felt like I could be a pro in TV. I embraced it. I didn't shy away from it. That was my reality. So I sat in coach's office. I thanked him for the opportunity and said, I'm done golfing. He paused, he looked down, he thought, he smacked the desk, he looked up and said, well, that settles it. You're the most disappointing recruit I've ever had. And he's over there laughing right now. Was it hurtful? Yes. Was it true? Yes. My coach and I are still great friends today. He's sitting right here in the third row. But, I knew that I was doing the right thing that day, and without a doubt, he would come to find out that it was the right decision for me too. But in that moment, I stopped looking at broadcasting and a career in that field like plan B. It was plan A all along. It just took me a little longer to find, but I found it here because of the opportunities at Heidelberg University, your school. I was getting radio and TV experience that you had to be an upperclassman to get at other schools, and it paid off. So why do I tell you that story? 2 reasons. It speaks to embracing how you're feeling. I didn't run away from it. As I said, golf felt like a bad fever dream. TV and radio felt like my connection to this world, my way of giving this world a part of me in a meaningful way. Nobody encouraged me to stop golfing. In fact, it was quite the opposite. But I knew it was what I needed to do to have the success I enjoy today. For some of you, plan A may work perfectly. Maybe it's plan B, or maybe something totally different grabs you and you feel your calling. Trust yourself and know that the dots will connect for you. But don't get too obsessed by figuring out just how they'll connect right now. Just keep embracing each moment, each opportunity you come across. Throughout the next 4 years, you will hit a crossroads in something, whether that be your choice of major, your future career field, or that friend group that doesn't make you feel too good when you hang out with them. You will likely make a big decision. But you already know what is right for you. You just have to be willing to listen to yourself. In a noisy room, your intuition will speak loud and clear, rising above all other voices. Dream big. Now is not the time to settle. One of my favorite quotes is by Jim Carrey. He says, "You can fail at what you don't want, so you might as well take a chance on doing what you love." That doesn't mean everybody will buy into your dream. In fact, some people might use your big dreams, your high-minded ambitions against you, as if spending yourself in a worthy cause is something to make fun of. Which brings me to another quote I love. "I'm not a baby, I'm a man. I'm an anchor man." Sorry, that's a quote from Ron Burgundy and Anchorman. I have no idea how that got in here. Anything you put in that prompter, Carpenter will read. But at least once a month, I listen to the speech, "The Man in the Arena" by Teddy Roosevelt. In it, one of our country's great leaders, who's on Mount Rushmore, says, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena." Be the person in the arena and don't let anybody's negative words take away from your dream. You can't lose if you dream big, and you certainly can't lose if you are your authentic self. In this next 4 years, don't try to be somebody you're not. But I'll warn you, just because you are your authentic self doesn't mean everyone will like you. If the news got around to some of my fellow classmates that I was speaking here today, a few of them might say, "Really, Scott Carpenter for Convocation, he was stubborn, hard-headed, and full of himself." To the prior, I say, "Well, I'm a lot less stubborn and hard-headed than I used to be." To the latter, I say, "Who else am I supposed to be full of?" Be confident in who you are. As you age, you may grow to be far less stubborn and hard-headed. A few of my professors might be happy to hear that. But you may look back and see those 2 qualities were exactly what you needed to make it in a competitive industry where young grads don't get a fair shake and doubters are constantly in your ear. I was in your shoes. It seemed like I blinked and I was sitting at Herneman Stadium, the football field, for graduation with a slight hangover, just a small one, in the beating hot sun, listening to one of my idols, John Butchergrass, a Heidelberg alum and ESPN Sports Center anchor. And my big takeaway from his speech, the thing that I remember most that day, is he said, "Why do we still wear these dorky caps and gowns? It is 2017. And I guess now I'm asking the same thing in 2025 minus the cap. But time will fly to when you're sitting in your graduation, wearing one of those dorky caps and gowns, and you'll think, wow, what just happened and what in the world is happening next? But if you embrace every moment along the way, from this moment on. Not just the highs and the lows, but the blah days, the freezing cold walks across campus, the timeless memories with friends, the deep conversations late into the night. You may just look back and think, everything I wanted, everything I dreamed about becoming started right here in this moment. Thank you.
If I should tell Scott or not that we could still revoke his diploma for skipping Convocation all those years ago. So we'll see how the rest of the day goes. Well, hello and welcome class of 2029 and all of our returning students. My name is Ashley Helmstetter and I serve as the Vice President for Advancement, Marketing, Alumni, and Community Relations here at your sweet alma home. It is now my turn to join my colleagues and Ethan and Scott by adding my welcome. Welcome to Heidelberg University, a tradition-rich, mission-driven community. And welcome to the first official day of your journey as opportunity makers. While classes may already be underway, today marks the beginning of something even more meaningful, your deeper connection to Heidelberg. And like all great milestones here, it begins with tradition. This morning, you crossed T-Bridge, a rite of passage shared by every Heidelberg student since the tradition began, with the exception of Scott. With a shiny penny in hand, you stood at a symbolic crossroads, one path representing love and the other money. Whether you tossed it into Rock Creek or tucked it into your pocket, you made a choice to begin your time here with purpose and intention. And here's the truth. Because of that choice, and because you are now a part of this extraordinary place, I believe you'll find both love and success. You were also given two important gifts, small in size, but mighty in meaning. The first is your beanie. I know, you all look great, I look silly, but regardless. This little cap connects you to generations of Heidelberg students dating back to the 1950s. While we have retired the tradition of the dink, frosh, dink, yes, underclassmen would dust the tops of the upperclassmen's shoes. While that has been retired, the spirit of respect, unity, and shared experience lives on. Wear your beanie proudly. The second gift is your H pin. It is so much more than just a letter. It's a symbol of belonging. That H connects you to over 15,500 alumni around the world. Leaders, creators, thinkers, and change makers who, like you, once stood exactly where you are right now. Don't be surprised when someone recognizes it and says, "Hey, Heidelberg, I went there too." It's not just a conversation starter. That's the power of this community. At Heidelberg, our traditions aren't just history, they're heart. They're the threads that bind us across decades and disciplines. Whether it's the ringing of the victory bell after a win, or the class banner that represents your unique journey and will one day march with you at commencement, those traditions are a reminder. You're part of something enduring and something meaningful. And then there's our alma mater, Sweet Alma Home. Written in 1896, sung at every major moment from convocation to commencement. Even if you don't know the words yet, don't worry, you will. And when you do, I hope you feel the same pride, connection, and belonging that generations of Heidelberg students and alumni feel every time they sing it. Your banner, your beanie, your voice in the alma mater. They'll become a part of this place, a place that's now yours. So today, I invite you to lean into these traditions, own your role in this community, and get ready not to just study and succeed, but to make opportunities for yourself and for others, because that's the Heidelberg way. Now, as we close this important moment the same way we always do, I ask that you please rise and join the chamber singers as we sing Sweet Alma Home. Also, while you are standing to get ready to sing, please remember Dr. DeMeo Puno's words this morning when we first started. After we sing Sweet Alma Home, please stay in your spots until you are dismissed for the recessional. Thank you, and go Berg.